Hi, my name is Ruxi Wang, an assistant professor of the Business School of Renmin University of China. You're watching the video abstract for the paper Government's Green Grip, Multifaceted State Influence on Corporate Environmental Actions in China, co-authored with Wijen and Pursey Heugens from Erasmus University Rotterdam. In this paper, we explore the multifaceted state influence on corporate environmental actions in Chinese listed firms. In China, both the central state and local governments have the formal power to allocate significant resources to the development of industries and regions. The central government has become increasingly aware of China's environmental challenges and has developed stringent policies to address them. However, local governments have strong incentives to circumvent those central policies because they may undermine local employment and tax revenues. So how does this interplay of these conflicting interests work out? This figure describes the Chinese environmental governance structure. Environmental policies are developed at the apex and then delegated to lower-level bodies for implementation. National ministries have their local branches to realize their environmental protection targets. For example, the Ministry of Environmental Protection on the central level has its provincial, municipal, and district branches of environmental protection bureaus in the local areas. The lower levels of the Chinese government serve as delegates of all their superior levels. This implies that firms controlled by lower-level government need to comply not only with requirements from that body, but also those from all higher-level governments. As firms are controlled by governments lower in the hierarchy, they will thus experience a stronger mounting pressure effect. On the other hand, as delegation travels down the hierarchy, the distance between the national and controlling government increases, giving rise to an increasing autonomy effect that facilitates the implementation of their own local policy. As we expected that the former effect will first dominate before the latter effect takes over, we hypothesize that the relation between the administrative distance between national and controlling government on the one hand and corporate environmental actions on the other follows an inverted U-shape, as this figure presents. Moreover, we argue that such a curvilinear relationship will be positively moderated by the stringency of environmental regulation for legitimacy and financial reasons. On the other hand, environmental monitoring capacity attenuates the inverted U-shaped relationship as it homogenizes the state's compliance pressure across administrative hierarchical levels. We developed a panel dataset on 107 Chinese listed firms covering the period between 2008 and 2012, using the software of Envivo and Stata, supplemented with over 60 hours of in-depth interviews. The inverted U-shaped effect and the moderating effect were largely supported in our models. Our study shows that the Chinese state has multiple phases, which drives firms to display different degrees of environmental proactivity at different levels of administrative control. As we probe the government's influence at different administrative levels, we went beyond the view of government as a unitary entity that puts forth consistent policies. Instead, we moved towards an understanding of government influence as being contingent on the divergent interests of governments at different hierarchical levels. Our focus was on China, which might be a conservative case in this respect. If we already found multifaceted state influence in a one-party autocratic state, the degree of heterogeneity and complexity is likely to be even more pronounced in pluralistic federal states like the United States and Germany. It is of great theoretical and empirical importance that this complexity is explored further in the different contexts in future research. The insights from our study also have implications for instructors. Extant teaching materials often depict a unitary view of the government, which is at odds with reality. Our study enables instructors to expose their students to a more realistic view of government influence. Students who are sensitized to divergent policies and practices at different administrative levels will be in a better position to develop and implement effective corporate environmental practices as they assume managerial responsibilities. We hope this video abstract is helpful. If you have any questions, please feel welcome to contact me at wangruxi@rmbs.ruc.edu.cn. Thank you very much.